The agenda today will cover many different dye sub applications, including how to produce products like t-shirts, sweaters, socks, blankets, pillowcases, signs and awards, high-end photo metal panels, gifting ideas, and many, many more. We'll outline the business potential, which is a low upfront cost, high profit margin for your faster return on investment. The benefits of producing in-house. You're able to control production timelines, your quality, your color. What equipment is required? With dye sub, it's pretty simple. A computer, a printer, and a heat press will get you going with a few ancillary products. We'll also have some info on end-of-year tax. At the end, as Bob mentioned, you can chat some questions, but at the very end, we will have a Q&A section. I do want to point out one very important thing is IT Supplies has the ability to do live one-on-one virtual demos with your files and your substrates. So thanks again for attending. I'm going to hand it back over to Bob and Malaya for a live product demonstration.
All right. Thank you, Colin. Well, one of the things that you might be wondering, although I think most of you know, is what is dye sublimation? Well, dye sublimation, to be very simplistic about it, is a printing process that uses heat to transform specially printed material onto from paper, turn it into a gas to become a permanent part of another substrate. So, for example, you will design, and we're going to talk about software and stuff later on in this particular webinar. Then you're going to print onto transfer paper, and then you're going to sublimate through a heat process onto a blank or a product. So there's a lot of different options for that. If you're using really large material, then you may want a rotary heat press. Today, we're not going to be demonstrating the rotary. We're going to be focused on clamshell heat press, but we'll have materials and samples to show you a little bit of everything. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it over to Malaya, and she's going to show you a little bit about the printing technology.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to see you today. My name is Malaya. Well, I can't see you, but you guys can see me. So I'm really excited. And today, right now, we're going to talk about a little bit more of some holiday gifting ideas. I'm going to show you some things that are already printed and then just kind of walk you through the process. So one of the things that are printing right now is we're going to create on today a holiday pillow, really simple, two-step process. And I'm going to take you through the full process of that. While the printer is printing right now, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of this unit so you have an idea. So on this printer, we are using the Epson F6370 SE, which is a standard edition. As you can see, just to kind of show you some other stuff, one of our customers, this is one of their beautiful multicolor images, and this is typically what it looks like when an image is printed out before it actually gets applied to the product. Now, what we have in the unit right now, which you'll see right here, is a 44-inch multi-purpose unit, which is 44 by 300 feet long, which gives you a lot of space to be able to do some things. So right now we're printing, we've already ripped everything. We've printed out of the Epson Edge software so that it comes in a box with it. When we print, it's really easy. We drag and drop our image in, we press print. So now, as you can see, I have my auto cutter on, and now I'm actually ready to go ahead and take this over to the heat press. So first I'm going to set this up, as you can see, and I'm going to grab my scissors. Now, if you have a large studio where you can do something like this in, usually customers have a workstation table where they're able to take like a little slicer and just go straight across this whole thing. Got my pillowcase here. So let me open this baby up. All right. Now, one of the things I like to do is pre-press anything that is folded to get out the wrinkles. As you may be able to see, there's wrinkles in this. So I'm going to pre-press this to lay down fibers as well as to get wrinkles out of here. And then I'm going to be ready to actually press my image onto the pillowcase. So I'm going to go over to this heat press here. And I'm going to lay down a silicone parchment sheet of paper just to protect my pillowcase because it is white. And I want my image to go on top, so we're going to turn this down ways for the zipper. And right now, I'm just going to hit it really quickly, nothing crazy, just to knock out some of these wrinkles. And I'm right now using the Stahl's Hotronic Fusion 16x20 press. This bangs out a lot of those wrinkles for me. And now I'm actually able, because this has some wrinkles in it, I'm not going to reuse it again. Now that this is laying flat, I'm now going to take my transfer paper, and as you can see, it is mirrored to make sure that's in there. You can do that in the software where it will auto mirror for you. And if I was working with a really large piece, what I would have done, which I'll do now, is use what we call heat tape, which is able to withstand the 400 degrees that I have this heat press on. And what it's going to do is it's going to stop the appearance of ghosting once I pull up, and the static pulls the paper up as well on the heat press. And I'll kind of give you a little demo on what I'm talking about. So I'm actually going to lay this down. This is flat, and now I'm going to get another parchment sheet just to protect the top part of my heat press. Lay this on here. This is a 16x24 sheet, really easy to use. And I'm going to leave this on for 60 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and press down. You want to use a medium to light heavy pressure, and it's going to go for 60 seconds for us. But usually what happens is if you are, in fact, heat pressing, what happens is what takes place as ghosting is when that heat press comes up, there's air that's coming through and there's static that's pulling it up. So because of that, we want to ensure that it's sitting down and you're not going to get what we call ghosting, which looks like a double print of the image. So that is what I'm avoiding by putting down heat tape to secure the paper down onto the actual pillowcase. So we have about 21 seconds here. Just to tell you a little bit more about this printer, it comes with a 24-inch roll of paper, as well as you can see here, these are our ink sets. So it's a CMYK, which is a high-density black ink that gives you that true rich black that you're looking for when you're printing on fabric. Now that this is ready, we're going to pull up on it. And as you can see, I didn't get any ghosting here. Now this is going to be really hot. I probably have burned off all my fingertips at this point after handling all these hot things. But as you can see, it's really easy to then go in, just like on this. I prefer the zipper to be on the bottom of my pillowcases. That way when I sit them up on the couch or in a chair, they look really nice. These come together, so they're really easy, just to kind of show you what's going on here. And when you pop those back in, you have a nice, pretty pillow. Now, just to kind of give you an overview of a few different things that you're able to do, because I'm sorry, but Christmas is my favorite time of year. You can't tell me anything. I am all for the holiday season. And when it comes to the holiday season, my friends and family love getting Christmas gifts from me because I make them personalized and custom. So one of the things I have here that I think is really cute and fun, I prefer mine to be a little bit bigger, but a nice cup of hot cocoa with a nice little Santa Claus is coming to town, which is really cute and fun to give friends and family. So you're able to do mugs on this thing. Another thing is, and I didn't do the actual application on this for you guys to show you, but a lot of customers always ask about the slippers. And the slippers are really fun. And one of the questions that we always get is, well, how did you get this to go on here and this to go on the full thing? Show you a little trick here. There is adhesive right in there that allows you to take this out. And what you do is you are heat pressing this first and heat pressing this second. The reason why you want to do one at a time is because of the height, the thickness difference of the two. So these are really easy to do, fun to do for friends and family. The other thing that people really, really love are socks, and you don't have to only do Christmas socks because you have a naughty or nice, just to give you a little. The stretchability is really great. There's no breakup in it right here. So you have a nice little seam that goes down. And then another popular thing is the Christmas. So I think these are really, really fun, especially for babies' first Christmas, first Christmas together for couples, and different things like that that are fun and creative to be able to make on your own as a DIY and give them to other people as well as sell them. And my other one is a nice Christmas stocking. Everyone loves something that's customized and personalized. So the year, the child's name, a photo, and you can even do some really cool designs where everything matches. So these can be on both sides or just one. It's really simple. It's a one-step process where you're just printing and then you're pressing. And lastly, I'll show you. Well, I guess I have two more to show you that'll be really fun. What we have here is a nice blanket. So looking at this, which is really, really, really bigger than me, so 50 by 60 friends. So you can always do an all over, or you can do like a spotted one. So this image is actually a 43 by 50. So it's pretty big. We did a spot print on it. If you want to go larger, you go up to like the 64-inch Epson Dye Sublimation printer, and it'll be able to do that for you with a rotary press, which is what we use here in the shop. Then we have some really nice metals and acrylics. So this is actually one of, I went to Cabo. And so this is the arch here in Cabo. And this is actually done on a Chroma metallic, basically just a clear metal, so that it looks like the water is actually moving. You can also get this in a white finish. You can do these on wood. It's a bunch of different things that you can do that makes this fun for the holidays, which are really great gifts with children's pictures and things like that that last a very long time, as well as you can do Christmas cutting boards. So this is actually a smaller cutting board. It's a photo glass where what you're doing is on the back of here is what is actually a polymer coating. On the front here is just the regular glass. So you want to make sure that you actually don't mirror your image on these type of products because it goes right through for you. So these are just a couple products that allow you to be able to do some nice holiday gifting and some everyday giftings, as well as growing your profit margins in order to create custom things to add to your actual business. One of the questions was, I don't know if you guys heard, Bob, was what kind of media do I suggest to use with the Chroma? Epson has 3 different types of media that you're able to use. And one of the ones that I really, really love using on the metal is the Epson Photo DS transfer paper. Is specifically for metals. The reason why we use it is because it's less grainy and different things like that. So it's actually a really nice paper to use, and you don't have any type of an adhesive. You don't want to use adhesive for a metal because it'll leave some residue behind. So typically we use the adhesive for blankets, t-shirts, things like that. So that way we don't get that ghosting that I was speaking about. Any others?
No, I think we're ready to go on.
All right, now we're going to go over to the slide presentation. All right, so I had to get from behind the cameras, guys, and in front of a computer. Now, I'm gonna just kind of go over a few little things that we talked about when we were over at the printer, just some ideas to give you guys and some business potential that you could be looking at. These are example prices of different things. Mind you, different brands cost different prices. So these are some examples for you to get you started. Now, the apparel is one of the largest dye sub opportunities out here. And just to hit on a couple things, sports apparel, fashion apparel, and just garment decorating in general, anything that is a cut and sew or even an all over print you can do. So some of the things that you saw was all over socks was what's an example that I showed you over there at the printer. You can retail those as an example for $15. It's going to cost you $4. Your product, your gross profit is going to be $10.96, and you've only paid $3.75 in material costs. So if you think about that, with that being a pretty good 73% gross profit, it's actually really easy to make basically a profit at all on this. So these are just some things that are really popular. So getting into the school sports apparel, the family reunions, the clubs, and the church apparels and things like that will really help bump up your overall business potential when you're doing some of these custom products. I'm gonna go over to the next slide now. So flags and banner signage are really popular, especially now where you see different 6 feet away, now open. These are really hot right now. They're eye-catching because they're very vibrant and they're easy to create. Now, they're lightweight, so it's really easy to ship them, and you're able to use them for indoor and outdoor. And obviously, if you're using them outdoors, it's going to be a short-term outdoor usage just because of the UV rays. So just keep that in mind when you are creating these types of products. And as you can see some of the business potential down there as well, just to kind of point those out for you guys. Next, one of the really cool things that's happening now is the Silicone Edge Graphics. So whether you're in a hospital, a museum, even airports, I don't know how kooky you guys are, but I am a fanatic when it comes to I'm other places, I'm in different businesses, and I touch everything. I have to know what you made this out of, what type of process it was done on, just to make me feel better, and sometimes it's even quizzing. My significant other always used to look at me crazy when he was my boyfriend, looking at me like, what are you doing? Why are you touching it? I'm like, oh, well, you know, this is Silicone Edge Graphics. It was up, it's a big banner. You see, it's just fabric, and all they did was put a metal frame around it, and they're able to pop those in and out, and they're very low cost, easy to ship, fast to remove, and they're just really quick, and you can reuse them as much as you want and how often you want. So that was something that was really fun for me to be able to figure out, is this sublimation? Is this DCG? Is this screen printing? Is this a latex printer doing this? What is this product? So just to kind of give you guys an idea, it's just really nice to have a vibrant color. It can be backlit to intensify those colors. Like I said before, some quick installations, and it also does reduce noise in commercial environments. So it's really cool product to have. It's easy to create, and it's just a really good overall product to be able to sell to your customers, especially in the sign business. Now, two of the things I actually showed you guys were pillows and blankets. So home decor is actually one of my favorite things because I love to snuggle up with a blanket. That Sherpa blanket is probably the softest blanket I've ever felt in my entire life. And you're able to sell those things at least for $85 a piece. That's a 72% gross profit that took you all of 10 minutes to create. 10 minutes of your time to get a 72% gross profit on your actual product. So imagine doing tons of those that are ganged up on a printer, and you're able to just crank them out for customers. It's a really big piece, especially in collegiate world, especially anything that has anything to do with pets. People are really big on their pets. I'm big on my new little flurry friend that I'm about to get. So I'm really excited about that, and I'll definitely have a blanket with a picture of his face on it. And then another thing is pillowcases. You can do both sides. As you can see, I didn't do both sides of the one that I did, but it's really easy to do one side, flip it over, and then you can do the other side and put a name on it. You can do a few different things with it and make it really fun and creative for your customers. So customized products are really ideal for any type of retail location, especially something that's that quick to produce, where it took me all of 2 minutes, about 1 minute and 30 seconds to print it, and 60 seconds in order to actually press the actual image. So about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, give or take, depending on how fast you're moving and what you're actually doing. So just imagine those types of times, because how long it takes you to produce something, how much it costs you to produce it, and what you're going to make on the outcome is what's really going to drive your business, as well as your profit margins, when you're basically just creating things to be able to increase your business potential. So we're going to move on into promotional gifts. These are soft goods. Promotional gifts don't have to be soft goods. They can be both, actually. One of the things that, and we have this on here, is mouse pads. And I remember when I used to work at my dad's print shop on the west side of Chicago, I am a highly sensitive person. So I always knew when we were making mouse pads, just because of the rubber smell of it. Dye sublimation in general has its own smell. We say it smells like money. I love that idea. I love the fact that something could smell like money, and in my mind, I see dollar signs. So the really cool thing about this, vibrant, high definition prints, it's so many things that it can go on, like baby bibs, onesies, face masks, which are really hot right now. So these are really fast products that you can create, that time is money. So if time is money and your time to create these products are very low, but your profit margins are 70% or more, you're making a killing, and you're doing it with ease, and your time is phenomenal. So as you can see, here are a couple of different things that you're able to do. Again, rally towels, canvas bags, beverage insulators. These are all fun things that you guys can create to have a low time to create and a high profit margin of return that makes it really, really nice for you. Another thing, which is now into hard goods, brands really love this, bands love this. Being able to make an award or plaque for someone, as well as a ceramic mug, water bottles, photo medals. I showed you some photo medals and a ceramic mug. These are also some things that if you insert them into different business industries, it makes it really easy to think of some products that are really, really easy to create, but show a very high level of quality. For example, a lot of the business that my parents do is in the memorial products. Plaques are huge. No, it is not an award plaque, but a memorial plaque with your loved one, with the loved one's photo on it, and a nice scripture or quote goes a really, really long way when someone has already laid to rest their loved one, and they have something of them that they can lay on a cocktail table or a china cabinet and keep there. So these are really good add-on products when you're selling gifts of basically selling products to customers, especially when you're doing memorial t-shirts, ribbons, banner stands, all those different types of things. These are really great add-on products that you're able to insert into your customer's mind that they haven't even thought of. So this is just some examples that I wanted to give you guys. But as you can see, the business potential, product, as well as price and the gross profit is there for you to be able to kind of take a look at there too. Now I'm going to go to the next. We looked at a lot of photo metals, and I talked about this a little bit. These are really hot inside of restaurants, as well as hospitals, museums, and a lot of different places. So when you have those different connections and relationships with your schools that you're doing spirit wear for, or any of those types of things, it's really easy to do little metal photos for the spirit as a part of the spirit wear when you're selling to those spirit wear parents and different things like that. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at these types of products. I love them because you can change them out. They're huge. One of my friends that's a coworker here, she actually made, if you're looking at the screen, on the left-hand side, there's a paneled view. There's two panel views of metals that go together, and she made one of the Chicago skyline to put above her bed. So these are things that are also fitting inside of the home decor realm as well, just to kind of get your brain thinking about multiple product ideas that you're able to apply to this. Now I am going to talk a little bit more about the personalized gifting market, just to kind of give you guys a little idea. It's a $3.5 billion market. Christmas season, product making season has already started. I walked in the Hobby Lobby the other day, and as well as Dollar Tree yesterday, and I looked, and I was looking for some fall apparel, some fall home decor and things like that I could customize my home with. And I realized that they had out Christmas stuff. There was barely any type of Thanksgiving things out. They skipped November and jumped right to December. So just keep in mind that this is your personal gifting market season, and it's going. It's projected to grow 9% between 2018 and 2020. So we're basically upon it at this point. And as you can see, the numbers show that 30% are photographic personal products and 70% are non-photographic personalized products. So just keep that in mind as we continue to go forward. It's just a huge demand, and people love to see their names on things and customize things. I know I just currently did a blanket and mask set for a friend that just had a baby. All expecting mothers have to go in and get checks as well as wear masks when they go in. So she had a really beautiful customized face mask and baby blanket to welcome her new baby in. So that was one of the things that I gifted her with, and she thought it was like $1 million I spent on it. So speaking of product ideas, these are the products that I showed you guys here today. And I know you were wondering, Malaya, I know you showed me some really cool things. What are these things costing? What is the typical sell price for it? Here is the layout for you. Personally, I am a fan of the crystal ornaments. We do offer those as well, but here are some different things that you can create. T-shirts, tote bags, fleece blankets. I showed you one that was a little bit larger, but any of these products that are flat, you can lay them on a 16 by 20 heat press. You don't have to go large. If you have the capability to go large and crush it in the market, I say go large, grow into it. You're able to produce those blankets, those large products that allow you to be able to do more than one print at a time. So just remember that when you're going ahead and thinking about what your setup's going to be and how you're going to do it. So these are just a few different things that you guys are looking at. I see you guys' questions coming in. I am definitely going to get to those. So just bear with me for a second. I'm almost done, and Bob's going to come back, and then I'm going to crush those questions for you. So here are just a couple of different things that you guys are able to do that we have showed you. They're simple. And also, if you call into IT Supplies and you ask for one of our commercial textiles print specialists, myself, Amber, Katie, we're more than happy to assist you and help you figure out the process and what your end products are going to be and what equipment you need in order to accommodate those things. So just call in, ask us about these different products, and we'll be able to assist you. Going down. So this is just a SureColor lineup real quick, just to let you guys kind of see what Epson is producing. You have the F570, which is a 24-inch dye sublimation printer. We were working on the SureColor F6370, which is the 44-inch unit, and that was the SE unit, as well as they have a production edition unit too. They have the 7200, which is a 64-inch, as well as the newest to the portfolio, is the SureColor F9470, which is the standard edition. And then they also brought in a 6-color fluorescent unit, which is the 9470H. And we can talk more about those things once you guys call in and ask us more about it. And now I'm going to turn it over to Bob to run through this with you guys.
All right. So thank you, Malaya. So just real quick, we do have a slide here that is going over applications by print width. So if this is actually being, this is actually going to show you 8.5 to 24 inch, the various things that you can run. Most of the things that we've done here today can be run on the 44 inch or the 24 inch, but there's also a 64 inch, and Malaya talked a little bit about that. That comes in 2 flavors. We do have a fluorescent version, 6-ink system, as well as the regular CMYK. Obviously, production speeds are a lot faster on that particular printer, and certainly most of the time that gets combined with a rotary heat press. So that's a little bit about that. And by the way, we are recording this, so if you do have any questions or anything about the slides that you're seeing today, you can always reach out to a commercial sales specialist or look for the recording on YouTube, which will be coming up very shortly. So one more thing, and this is something new, is that the Epson F-Series printers now come complete with what they call Epson Edge Print. This is a great layout and printer management tool. It allows you to lay out your images. It has an intuitive workflow. It features the Adobe PostScript engine, so it's compatible with many different types of graphic files. It's super easy to use. You can crop, you can do a lot of tiling, and a lot of other things that people are generally looking for when working with fabrics or any kind of textile. So this particular new solution, the Epson Edge Print, is now compatible with most of Epson's leading printers. So now, one other note that we want to tell you about is there is a federal business tax incentive. This usually comes into play at the end of the year. The website that you should visit to find out more about how your specific business can apply for this is section179.org. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. And certainly, as you can see, it does allow for up to 100% tax deduction on equipment and software purchases up to just over $1 million. But again, we would want you to look into that and consult with your tax professional for any specifics that relate to your business. When it comes to service and support, Epson preferred limited warranty. It includes priority toll-free support, and it's available Monday through Friday. The 44 and 64-inch models include 1-year warranty with on-site service. I have to say, I don't think you'll be calling very often. These printers are extremely reliable, but when you do, you'll find them to be very responsive and to be on site within a short period of time. So generally, though, we rarely have issues. Also, everything is covered by Epson. So if something goes wrong, Epson is handling all of the technical and break-fix support. You can also get optional 1-year Epson Preferred Plus plan that continues your warranty. You can get it for 2 additional years of coverage, so a total of 3 years of coverage. And again, just consult with your commercial sales specialist. They know all about this stuff, and they'll be happy to pair it. If you're doing a lease, they'll be happy to work up the service plan so that it pairs up perfectly with your lease, or however you want to work it. So that's just one more piece of information. Finally, you know, Epson, it is Epson. And that's one thing that Epson likes to hammer home. They've designed the print heads. It's their print heads. This printer is their printer. The media that we're talking about today, a lot of it is Epson media. The media that we're using, it's Epson inks. And again, the Epson service and support and the Epson software. Again, you're getting one complete package from one manufacturer who's there and stands behind it 100%. So those are really the key things that we wanted to drive home today. And we do want to get to your questions. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it over to Malaya. And we're going to take her live here just a second. So hang on one second.
Welcome back. Okay, Bob, so what do we have as questions? I saw that there were a couple questions that came in, and I'm really excited to answer them for you guys. I am ready when you are.
So the first question is, what is the difference between dye sub and DTG?
So dye sublimation is 100% polyester is what you're using when you produce it. When you're printing on anything, everything starts off white. It's one of my favorite technologies to deal with because your idea and the things that you want to do are limitless just about. As long as it's polymer coated or 100% polyester, which is what some of the things that I showed you, which all of these are polymer coated and polyester fields. Basically, that is what dye sublimation is. So like Bob kind of explained in the beginning, it's a two-step process where it's getting printed and the ink is going from a solid to a gas and back to a solid after it has gone through the heating process. What DTG is known as direct-to-garment printing, and you're able to use that on 100% cotton, tri-blends, polyesters, just about any type of a fabric. The limiting that you have is that you are stuck with 16 by 20 if you want to print on something. Your print area is only a 16 by 20, whereas on dye sublimation, you're going up to a 44-inch, or you're able to get a 64-inch printer, which isn't going to really restrict you into size. So with direct-to-garment printing, the ink is being laid on top of the actual garment, whereas dye sublimation, the ink is becoming one with that product because the polymers are opening and the gas is going in and they're locking. So it's becoming one with it. The actual material is going to deteriorate before the actual image deteriorates on it. Whereas with your direct-to-garment printer, which is really good for t-shirts and hoodies and things like that, that people are really comfortable being in, it's going to sit on top and it's going to start to fade before you see anything else happen. It has really great stretchability, just like the dye sublimation, but it's actually just being laid right on top is what the ink is being laid. It's being laid right on top of there. So it's pretty much the two differences between the two. Both are water-based inks. The DTG does print white ink, whereas dye sublimation does not. So those are basically the really hot main ways that you determine whether it's DTG or dye sub. And don't let the type of material that you use deter you from one or the other. If I'm going to be totally transparent with you, both really, really complement one another. It's not one is better than the other. It's not any of those things. They really complement one another. And a lot of customers get both, or they buy one, save up, pay off the one unit, and then buy the other. So that they're able to be a full service, one-stop shop for a customer. So remember that when you are deciding between the two and what you want to do, because it really depends on your customer base and what your product is going to be. So always think about what is my end product, which is always my question to customers.
Perfect. All right. Well, the next question we have is, how do you do heat transfer for a 40 by 60 inch panel?
All right, so what you don't see here right now, because we have a rotary press, is a large format heat press. So we call those maxi presses. Depending on, like I said, remember the end product that you're using. So with you doing a large metal panel that large, you're instantly already going to be in the realm of 44 by 64 inch maxi press. So it's literally thinking about it as a regular heat press, because it is, it's just larger. And we do offer those. And when you call in and ask about those, you can call in, get pricing. Those are very industrial machines. So just remember that, making sure that you have space, because when the actual platen comes out, you need to make sure you have space for that. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do those larger panels. They're on a large flatbed heat press that's just larger than this 16 by 20. But like I said, you can always do the smaller ones on your 16 by 20 press. I was looking for the panel, but it's over there.
All right. So the next question is, so how do you dye sub, say, a green t-shirt or something dark? I thought you could only supplement light colors.
So what's really, really cool, and what has definitely progressed lately, is there's a lot of shirt manufacturers that are making t-shirts where the outside is one color, and then there is a white sublimated box in the middle that you're able to put on there. When you're designing something like we did, we didn't show the white transparency, but you can also, which you can't see that on there, but in our design, you can make the whole back cover of that white box be that same color green. There's a few different things that you can play with when you are designing in your design software, whether that's Adobe Suites or Corel Draw, whatever you prefer. You're going to match that with the actual shirt that you purchase. But typically, they just put, like I said, a box around, and they have different colors. So you're really doing what we call spot printing, and you're not doing an all-over print, because you can do an all-over print just like that one, and it's completely dyeing the shirt the green. So using that large flatbed heat press that we were talking about, you would be able to do an all-over green t-shirt that once started off white, but is now green because you completely dyed the entire thing. I hope that answered your question.
All right. Well, next up, we've got a question on the new F570, and this person wants to know if it comes with the Edge Print software.
It does not. It actually comes with it's a driver where you're able to print directly out of the software that you are designing in. So whether you're designing in Corel Draw or in Adobe Suite, you're going to be able to print directly out of those using a ProScript is what it's called. So it doesn't come with the Epson software.
All right. And next, you mentioned that there were two variations of the F6370. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So the standard edition does not come with what we call a take-up rail. So if you're looking at doing roll-to-roll printing, you would be able to use the take-up rail, which is actually right down here, for the paper to come out, and the paper is going to come out. You'll be able to tape it here, and it's going to automatically roll for you because it has the auto roll, the manual roll here. But that's where it will go. It's right here, so that way you can take this right off and load it onto a rotary press. And that way you're able to then feed it, because some people don't need a 64-inch printer, period. Some just need a 44-inch because of the type of clientele that they have. And let's say they're only making cut and sew socks as well as ties. We have a few different customers that even create custom ties and things like that. So it's just another idea, and it keeps you being able to do a production print. So This unit would actually be the Epson F6370 PE version, which is the production edition. And if you buy the SE and decide that you do need it to be a roll-to-roll, you can also add and purchase the take-up rail portion of it. So that way you're able to have it be just like the PE version.
All right, it looks like we're on to our final question here, which is someone is asking, so how do the inks come? Do they come in bags? How do the inks come with the system?
I like to call them giant Capri Sun bags. Just don't drink it, okay? Keep it away from the children. These are 1.1 liter bags, $115. But this is pretty much how they come. This is the chip here that, and when you purchase the unit, it comes with the full set. But I'm going to take this out so you guys can kind of see this. The chip actually goes right here on the edge so that the machine knows that this spot is for HDK black ink. And right in here is where you're going to pour it, which is the reason why it has this little cool spout on it. You're going to pour it right in there. So once you close that up and you slide this in, when you hear the click, it's all set to go. So CMYK, well, HDK black, here's your spout that you rip off, and it's easy to pour right in. So these things are really cool, easy to use, and it has a little Epson sticker on it so you can get some rewards. And we can talk about that too. Any other questions, Bob?
No, I actually think that's going to do it for today. Just checking one last time. But it looks like you've covered all the questions. So thank you, Malaya. And thank you, Colin. Colin, I'll just ask if you have anything else to add at this point. All right. So with that, I'd just like to tell you just real quickly, if you're not familiar with IT supplies, we are a company that's here to support everything that you need related to the perfect print. Our knowledgeable tech support specialists are here to help you with supplies and support to keep your business running. We've talked about the Epson support. It is fantastic. However, I do want to emphasize that we have our technicians here. Now, they're not break-fix technicians, but they are extremely knowledgeable with the software, with the hardware, to help troubleshoot, to help set up. And we also have color services, and that's something that we really do specialize in. We're probably one of only a handful of companies that has high-end expertise in managing dye sublimation printers and dye sublimation printers on mass scale. So we're happy to help you with anything that you might need, whether it's related to the printers, the inks, the medias. Just reach out to your commercial sales specialist. If you don't have one, you can always call 1-800-771-9665 and ask for a commercial sales specialist to help you. I also want to mention just briefly that Malaya and I have been doing a fantastic job, well, especially Malaya, of getting videos of different types of manufacturing out onto the web. So if you're looking for how-tos on hoodies, shoes, t-shirts, baseball caps, and much, much more, it is on our YouTube channel now, and you can go tune in there and see exactly how to go about doing some of this. So, and we'll continue to produce those on a weekly basis. So again, I want to thank Malaya, and I want to thank Colin for helping coordinate this event. I hope that everyone will walk away from this webinar more knowledgeable. Thank you to all the attendees. You've been tremendous, and we look forward to seeing you very, very soon.
Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions about any of the videos that you see here on our YouTube channel, call in to a commercial sales specialist at 800-771-9665. We're here to help.